Welcome! In today's Explainer, we're unpacking a really fascinating new concept that absolutely challenges everything we think we know about modern dating. Let's be totally honest here. There is a deeply relatable frustration out there right now, a profound kind of dating fatigue. I mean, we live in an era where you can literally swipe through thousands of potential connections with just a few taps on a screen. Yet despite this totally unprecedented access, millions of people are still experiencing really intense loneliness. We have more access to other people than at any point in human history, but the results? They just aren't matching the sheer volume. So why is that?
Well, it's an incredibly simple question, but it fundamentally shifts our whole perspective. What if we are searching wrong? We tend to automatically assume the problem is either a lack of good options in our area or just plain bad luck. But the source material we're looking at today suggests something radically different. It argues that the flaw isn't a lack of options at all. Instead, it's about how we are fundamentally looking for them. It's like we're using a completely broken compass to navigate this vast ocean of people. Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1, the paradox of choices.
So on one side, we have the current app model. It's built almost entirely on surface-level metrics, right? Heavily curated photos, super brief descriptions, and these split-second decisions where you evaluate an entire human being in the blink of an eye. Now, contrast that with what the actual goal is, finding true, deep compatibility. The problem becomes pretty obvious when you put them side by side. While current apps are incredibly efficient at giving us rapid visual introductions, they're just terribly equipped for actually determining if two people are deep, functionally compatible on an emotional level.
Moving on to Section 2, the lack of self-knowledge, the true missing link.
So the crucial point here is that the real missing link in modern dating isn't a lack of options. It's that we often don't find the right person because we don't fully understand who we are yet. This is a massive paradigm shift from the source text. We spend so much of our energy evaluating other people, figuring out if they check all our boxes, that we completely ignore the absolute bedrock of any healthy relationship: self-knowledge. You simply can't effectively evaluate a partner if you don't actually know your own core values, your conflict styles, or your true emotional rhythms. True compatibility requires deep self-knowledge first.
Which brings us to Section 3, AI as your mirror.
This introduces the idea of an AI mirror. It's a conversational system that listens, learns, and actively helps you identify your values, conflict styles, emotional rhythms, and even your hidden contradictions. Now, I want to be super clear about this. This concept is absolutely not about an algorithm magically picking out a perfect mate for you to marry. No way. It's actually a highly advanced tool designed to accelerate your own self-discovery. It acts as an objective, tireless sounding board to reflect yourself back to you.
Just imagine interacting with a system that can accurately observe your behavioral patterns over time and gently point out you claim to value stability but seem attracted to unstable situations. I mean, think about how incredibly powerful that is. The AI acts as a deeply observant and empathetic mirror. It reflects the very human contradictions we all possess but often desperately struggle to see in ourselves.
Or maybe it neutrally observes something like, you seek someone present but pull away from available people. Notice how perfectly objective that delivery is. The system doesn't exist to judge you or to make you feel guilty for your relationship patterns. It simply exposes those mismatched behaviors, that huge gap between what we confidently tell ourselves we want and what our actions actually demonstrate in the real world.
You want a lasting relationship, but recent choices show other priorities. And this brilliantly illustrates how the AI uses these observations not to point out your failures, but to build a solid foundation of genuine self-knowledge. Because the reality is, once you actually understand these internal contradictions, you can finally stop repeating the same exhausting cycles and start making choices that align with your true self.
Let's look at Section 4, the human factor intact.
Now you might be thinking, does this mean robots are taking over romance? Absolutely not. Here's how the process actually works in practice. Step 1. Once the AI has helped you achieve a real baseline of self-knowledge, it suggests connections based on truly aligned values and life goals rather than just a nice photo. Step 2. From there, the humans take over entirely. You converse, you meet, you decide. And Step 3. Mistakes just become useful information. The platform frames the entire dating experience as a learning journey. If a connection doesn't work out, it isn't a failure at all. It's simply new data that helps you further understand what you truly need.
The hard rules of this proposed system are really quite fascinating. The AI never decides for you, it only suggests. The meetings, the actual conversations, that spark of chemistry, all of that remains fiercely, beautifully human.
The source material heavily emphasizes that no algorithm can ever replace the messy, unpredictable magic of meeting someone in real life. The goal here is definitely not to manufacture a perfect person for you. The goal is simply to create smarter opportunities for highly compatible people to actually cross paths.
Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds the future of relationships.
If we adopt this model, the future of relationships becomes about less appearance and more meaning. By stripping away those superficial layers that our current apps prioritize so heavily, we finally make room for connections that are anchored in actual substance. We stop choosing based on a split-second visual reaction, and we start connecting based on deep, shared alignment.
We'll also see a major shift towards less instant judgments and a lot more understanding. Because when you approach dating from a place of profound self-knowledge, you naturally become more empathetic to the people you meet. You aren't just quickly discarding someone, you're seeking to actually comprehend them, exactly the way the AI mirror helped you comprehend yourself.
Ultimately, the whole concept boils down to this: less guessing, more self-knowledge. This entirely replaces the exhausting, trial-and-error guesswork of modern dating. Instead of constantly wondering if someone is the right fit, you are grounded in the absolute confidence of knowing exactly who you are and what you functionally need to build a healthy, lasting relationship.
Which brings us to a profound shift in how we really should be framing our romantic quests. Maybe the future of relationships isn't about meeting more people at all. The most important question isn't, who is the perfect person for me? The real question we should be asking is, how can two people looking for exactly the same thing find each other more easily? I'll leave you to think about that. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and I really hope it sparks some deep curiosity for you about the future of human connection.